So I had some thoughts of doing a little bit of polishing my wood a little bit today. But it's, even though the little tail of the hurricane passed through, still passing through the East Coast, touched on us a bit. We got some heavy rain. Rained all day yesterday. Crappy screwdriver. Put decent magnets in these things. It's still a nasty day today. And after putting the harness together for the radio, hopefully the stereo, be a little, I hate noises like that. Be a little bit pressed for time. I can probably do both without taking that out. So I'm not going to do that. The one thing I am going to do though is, if you check the description, there'll be a link to this. Man, it's so unusual to see a car that's never been apart, which is one of the reasons I'm not doing a whole lot more. All this stuff is it's nice shape. Sorry, I can digress. What was I saying? If you check the links at the bottom, you'll see one for. Ooh, I'm supposed to do that. Removing the fader. There's more tension here than I would expect. Even though the fader was not showing any crackling or what you generally get in these at some point. This one looks really clean, as a matter of fact. Just wanted to follow up to that link video below. Oh, this one's prettier too. Let's just see. It's not a lot prettier. It's a little bit prettier. Decided I wanted to use the existing fader, so I wanted to go in and clean that up. Video link below. I have done this before, but it's been quite a long time. My recollection is that you have to do a little bit of fiddling. Maybe a lot of fiddling. Oh, wow. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Okay. That is the antenna, which I believe will go to the blue remote wire. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. All work done. Same place. The Automaster. I just don't know what, if anything, I'm expected to do with this. Maybe antenna related? This, okay. So this part I do know. I'm going to get something soft to put this on. So one other thing, and I'll probably be inserting this earlier in the video, rather than where this actually occurred, which was after I'd already gotten all the wire and situated everything back in place, and then realized that these little pieces The parts that snap up and hold the beggar in place stay, since there's no place for them to go into the frame on this, they stay down and they won't go up, and then you can't slide the ashtray all the way in, which I feel kind of dumb. It took me a while to figure it out, but anyway, you can see that this little piece right here, where my shaky finger is, clips over in the back there. Doing my best here, apologies. And so you just need to get a screwdriver, and there's nothing else holding it in other than just tension. So you just, if you push that back, you have to have two hands to do it. It'll pop right out. And so what I'll end up doing is just taking these and put them in the box with the radio and anything else associated with the Becker radio, in case anybody ever wants to put it back in properly. All right, not so bad. So I'm assuming I could probably do this in a more complete fashion and screw that in place, but I can always pull it back out again. Or, just leave that as is. It is not going anywhere. There are a couple of things that I'm not going to do today. I don't use the cell phone a lot, hands-free or otherwise, in the car. So, yeah, I don't know exactly where I want to put the mic yet. I will be installing it. I just want to make sure everything works. I don't want to go completely bat stuff on this. I just want to make sure everything works and try to do it without scratching everything up first. So, the first thing I touched, I'll plug that in. And my wiring harness. Plug that in. Let's see if I actually got that stuff right. This goes. Nope, there we go. All right. The positive of doing this out, so I can check. I don't know which side is which. No. So we will find out. Careful. And what is going to happen now? Oh. And I had in my pocket some royalty-free music. Okay. Confirmation that works. Now I just need to figure out if I can get the antenna to work. Everything was wired up and working correctly. The only issue I was having was figuring out the antenna, the automatic antenna, because I was mistakenly thinking it was something to do with this 5-pin plug, which I disassembled. But I think it's the alarm. So make a comment below. But it is in fact this one black wire, which I didn't know if that was ground or something, but you maybe can hear it. I'm not going to go through trouble showing it, but no. The powered antenna does in fact work correctly with the power on and off for the head unit. So at this point I'm just going to put everything back together again, figure out how some of the controls work, and then we'll come back. So everything is back together, at least for this first pass. Like I said, I'm going to come back to it and deal with the microphone for the cell phone and stuff like that later. But I'm really super pleased with the way this looks. Just going back to my observations in the video I posted about selecting this thing, you can just see that even though it's got a little bit of shiny stuff here and here, it's minimal and it just, kind of contrasted. But the big thing is these main surfaces match almost perfectly with the matte black controls, including the rubberized volume knob. Having had to manhandle this thing around to get it all in here. I will say it would be nice if they had a non-CD version of this, because I'm pretty sure the only reason this thing has to be as big as the Becker that came out was because it's got the CD drive in there. And I can't imagine any reason why I'd ever have a CD in this thing. So I've noticed on some of the units, like the, I think they're like the retro sound, it's really shallow. And it is a bit of a pain getting everything, you have your one hand in there trying to get all the wires and keep them from, catching on something on the way in. It would be awfully nice to have an extra few inches in there to get all the wiring in place. But it really does look good, I think. Everybody's got their own preference they're looking for, but I think especially once I get down to the minutia of really polishing out this wood, which does look good, but will look better. It's going to really look nice. But I'm going to hold it to that for now. What I'll do is figure out some of the controls. It does have some nice features. It's not super advanced, but it's got a real EQ, and by real EQ I mean it's only 3 bands, but you can adjust the bands where they sit, and I need to fiddle around with that. I haven't had this much frequency response to play with in a while. What else? Yeah, probably just need to drive it around a bit, but I will be following this up with basically a video showing if this little upgrade I did actually accomplished what the end goal is. I mean, A, to improve the sound, B, to have the ability to have a USB drive on the car and keep, my entire music library on hand wherever I am without having to worry about Bluetooth every single time I get in the car. No, it's not a big hassle, but whatever. I'm lazy. Scans. I just think that looks great. I think it looks like something that could have almost come in the car. And the other thing I'd forgotten about is if you leave the ashtray out of the sliding ashtray part, what you can do, and I'm going to do something more permanent long term, is actually just run your USB extension up here. So it's not, I'm fiddling with this because I only got one hand, but you can see this means that when you want to sync the music up or add something to your main library, you can just pop it in there and then close her back up. And you still have your, if you need something for power, for USB or whatever, you've got that there. And then if you just want to load up something quickly, you have the front USB, but I prefer to leave it clean like that. And yeah, I'll make some other observations. It's upside. It's all upside so far.